First, that this podcast is going to be a lot of spoilers in this podcast. I'm sorry that this podcast took so long since I just keep pushing it back. So let's start this podcast. This Deep Dive Podcast. I'm your host, Gamer Anton D. We are going to review My Hero Academia. So we're gonna talk about my thoughts before watching it. So before watching My Hero Academia, I actually finished saw it and then I was watching a review of it. And basically the guy said was like My Hero Academia is better, like action wise. Yeah, and this is still romance in My Hero Academia, but just a little bit. But I really like Charlotte since there's more romance. And so like actually to My Hero Academia, like my first thoughts on it, like just seeing it, it's like I feel like comedy and action, and like that's basically that's it. And now after watching it, I like it. Like it's like for me, it's good. It's a good anime, and like season one was interesting. I think like back, sorry, no, Deku was an interesting character in season one because he didn't have superpowers like everybody else have superpowers, and then there's like people that don't have superpowers but they just like live in like a noble society, like a noble life, like have a job, being a priest man, and then yeah, and then All Might. So like All Might just shows up and he said, "Take my hair," because All Might already knows that Deku wants to be a superhero. So he's like, I feel sad about this guy, so this is I'm gonna give him my superpowers. I think that was pretty cool, really cool. Um, and we're gonna talk about Bakugo. Bakugo isn't my favorite character. Like I know that like watching the whole series that like Bakugo pushing Deku to be a really good superhero. And I'll be honest, I kind of didn't like him because I think he was just mean to him, and I was thinking he's gonna become a supervillain. I was like, please, stop. Like, I don't like this dude, and I kind of didn't like. I do understand, like, they try to make him a better, like, make him, you know, they gonna make him feel like, oh, I feel sorry for him, but they made me don't like him very like so much that I kind of didn't care about that. Like I'm be like, you can't change my mind. I'm sorry, but you can't change my mind. And so like my whole thoughts for like the series wasn't like interesting until like I think season four, because season four was when Eri was introduced, I think, and I really like Eri because she her dad is the supervillain, the guy with the card with the hand on his face, and like the hand with like I don't know what his name at all. Wait, hold up. I'm just going to double check what his name is. Um, I I found that interesting. I was like, my gosh, that's like the daughter one. Like, oh my god. I'll be like, I hope that that they will save her and then try to turn her like to be a superhero. She become like a superhero, and then she can learn to control her powers and that stuff. I'd be like really happy if that happens. Yeah, because she's still in training. I really like that. I wish they kind of focus on Area a little bit more for like this the season, but so far I'm okay with what they doing. But I'm gonna talk about season five, and I think season five was like a whole new turn because like for me it's like it became serious. It became like really serious all of a sudden, and it it made me felt a little bit weird, but in the same time, I was like, okay, this became serious. It's kind of like feels weird because like I was thinking My Hero Academia is like all funny moments and like action, and then it just became serious. I'll be like, okay, all right. And I'm gonna talk about one thing. Um, I like the part in season 5 that they focus on the villain. They they be. I'm like, wow, all right, okay, all right. That's good. Like I like that part because because now you have like a point of view of what the villain's mindset is. And I'm gonna talk about a little bit of my favorite characters. Um, Toga. Toga, I think she's just interesting, like really interesting, and basically that's it. Like that's basically it for Toga. Ubaraka was kind of like a funny character, and I like when she got embarrassed a lot. Like when they talk about um, Deku, and then she's like, "Ooh," I just like really like that moment. I don't know why, but yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you like this podcast. If you do, leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.